you say you'll never run away. You think that love is a game, and now we've gone insane. But what we have is what one spends a lifetime searching for.
Hi, welcome to Cutscene. If you're doing this right, you're about to meet three assholes who really have no fucking idea of what is going on. I'm Eric.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to Cutscene by I Beat It First.
Yay!
Yeah.
Anime!
I mean anime, yes.
Amazing.
They were smoking some good stuff when they thought of this anime.
Dude,
They was just, I can just see it already. They're like, what if we're a game, but we're being played by a game that was also part of a game. Whoa.
what if... Alright. So, like, you've seen all those animes and shows where it's like, there's avatars, right? Like, you know, like, there's some colored ones. You mean Avatar? Yeah, like that. But instead of a human... Yeah, unless they're fucking. But instead of a human inhabiting an avatar, we have computers inhabit the humans, and they're the ones that do the fighting. Nope, it doesn't sound any better if I say that I pretend that it came from a stoner. Yeah, God, this fucking
It's weird.
anime.
It's weird.
Okay, so here's the problem. The problem is the first episode starts out perfectly fine.
First episode was 100% normal. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a dope premise. I'm behind
I'm like,
it.
cool, yeah.
I'm like,
Big
the
giant
last 2
fist,
minutes-
big giant fist machine that just like
Yeah.
fists the crap out of the giant alien monster. I mean, and they're flying around. They're doing like somersaults without any propulsion. I'm like, okay, so it's like Attack on Titan, but with big monsters instead of weird, creepy titans. That's cool. Like, I can get behind this. It's fine. And then the chibi avatars
Chibi
just
avatars show up.
appear.
It's like, what is going on here?
Chris and I are both watching this.
Is this the same anime?
We're playing
Yeah.
a game. We've got the anime up, and we both feel like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. What just happened?
Yeah, my wife was sitting next to me between episode 1 and 2, and she was playing Animal Crossing.
What a
episode 2
shocker.
started, and she looked, what a shocker, right? She looked up and she's like, "Are you watching the same anime?" And I was like, "I don't know."
I think Crunchyroll
Yeah.
changed animes on me. Okay. Before we get any further, for those of you that don't know, I mean, it's in the podcast title, and you should have watched this before, like listening to this episode. So, what are you doing if you don't? We're watching Deca-Dence, and I make sure to say it separate so that it's not Decadence. And because there's a hyphen there. So it's Deca-Dence. And we watched episodes 1 through 4. The plot, though, is in the fortress city of Deca-Dence, the lowly taker girl Natsumi dreams of becoming a gear warrior following her father's death during a Gaydol attack. It's really pronounced Gaydol. She is assigned to a maintenance team led by Kubaragi, whom she discovers is more than he appears. Kubaragi has a secret role in eliminating bugs, humans who threaten Solid Quake's operations. When Kubaragi discovers that Natsumi is listed as dead in the company database, he decides to keep her under observation and offers to train her to fight. So there's so many things that when we read this in the last episode of Cutscene, we're like, Solid Quake, Solid Snake. We're like, is this Metal Gear? Like, and you know what? This might as well have been written.
I mean, all you need to do is have some guy have that big enemy black guy that's like the big
The
master
alpha or
control
whatever?
program or whatever. Yeah, all we need.
The program, not the-
lay low. Yeah,
Yeah.
the master control program. He just needs to say lolly lay low, and it's just like, all right, We're in. We got this. This is the actual fallout from Sons of Liberty. I understand.
And
now.
someone doing naked cartwheels.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
naked
haven't
cartwheels.
seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen
We
it.
could have
It
a
could
guy
be.
with a mechanical jaw show up here, and I mean, they're flying around. It could easily happen here.
Man. So, like, when we read it, we're like, okay, that's weird. That sounds weird, but I've heard weirder premises for anime. Sure. But little did we know that wasn't even the weird part. So
I love it. I think the weirdness is fun. I'm just like, it's like, oh, okay, this is completely different than what everything I was ever.
The weirdness, yeah, it's fun, but like I sat there for the first 2 episodes going, what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're doing a good job of just barely outpacing my patience of bullshit. Because I'm just like, by the 3rd episode, or it's either the end of the 2nd episode, by the 3rd episode when they start training, and they finally go into the details of like the equipment and like how they're doing all this stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's still all super sci-fi, but at least it's just like
you can see the arteries, and you have to aim at the arteries. Yeah, they make an anti-gravity bubble that you can just float around in and do whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, Lawbreakers was made into a game. Why can't they use it here? It makes sense to me. So I mean, it's just like just barely outpacing a lot of stuff. I'm just like, all right, like what is that guy's like heads up display? You know, all kinds of stuff. Oh, next episode. So we'll see on how well they keep that up, because they're toting a very like hard line of if they just like there's something like, hey, yeah, don't pay attention to that this anime will just become like bullshit, and it'll just be like, I don't really care anymore.
So my hope though is that. All right, so we'll skip to the episode 4, just because we can. My hope is that the attack on the base and the alphas and whatnot ends up being, like, it works. And they kill them all. And then the rest of the anime is the fallout of, what do we do now? Of the computer programs.
I hope this is 100% like takedown. Yeah, I hope this is 100% take down the, proletariat, whatever it is. I don't know. It's but it's like the master control program.
Take down Skynet.
Take down God. Yeah, pretty much. I hope this is like the next level of what it all is. And then
this is in essence your Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I mean,
which is funny.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm hoping that it goes for. I'm hoping
it's funny.
We find out.
Jason and I were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, because I wanted a Gurren Lagann game. I wanted the game to like really capture the essence of what Gurren Lagann did, where it's just like, hey, I'm a dirt farmer. Hey, guess what? I'm killing God. You know, where it's just like you have like the absolute progression. Now, Eric and I were talking, not to jump ahead of you, Eric, talking about how like there's been tons of games that let you take down
similar-ish.
God. Like, almost any Final Fantasy, you're gonna fight God. But what I'm talking about is like scale. Like I love in Gurren Lagann, it's just like, hey, I'm a dirt farmer and I'm punching moles, to, hey, I own this like ethereal machine that now is larger than planets, and literally I'm fighting like the ethos of the galaxy. Like that's just like, okay, that's kind of like that scalability I'm talking about.
Well, so when I say though that this is your next Gurren Lagann, possibly, like if it goes on it, like I could very much see this going in the opposite direction. Of giant scaled thing that you end up using to fight God. No, you have to fight tiny little Data
dirt farmer
inside.
Oh, Data. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Data inside. So it's the opposite direction. Like she's got to figure out some way to get into the computer system and do it without, stupid hacking set. Because the big thing is this. What?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, the big thing is that this takes place in, like... This says 2,400. I swear it's, like, 2,500.
I mean, it's like the third apocalypse.
It's, like, super
you have
future.
You have the human apocalypse, you have the surviving apocalypse, and then you have the Data apocalypse going on right now.
Skynet
and
apocalypse.
They're now...
The Terminators are now just straight Data, and there's nothing that they can do, and they're just trying to... stop. I guess it really would be like the Skynet apocalypse, like the humans are their are their power source, and they're trying to keep these monsters from killing their power sources.
Well, I think I feel like I remember there was a part where they talked about how like the people, the few remaining people converted into these chibi avatars, like and became data to like save themselves. And now
that's
they're
what-
like relaxing in an environment of just like, hey, now we just play games. And this is their reality now of
But
playing
that's
the game, which is actual life.
And that's the thing that's like really fucking confusing, because it sounded like that, because they had that whole commercial for "Come to Deca-Dence," and you get to team up with your friends and fight this big battle
Play
and
games,
yada yada yada. Play games, and it's like it's a theme park. But man, like the girl, she has no chip. Like she's not one of them. She's not piloted by anybody. But what about all the other people?
Right.
Like he becomes a tanker, and he gets demoted. Like we find that out of like where he puts out the he lets out the information on how to bypass the safeguards and whatnot.
The hack.
And yeah, the hack. And he becomes a tanker, but like are all the other ones like simulation people, or are they people?
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about with like them just outpacing the bullshit, because like that's got to be the next thing it explains, like what happens when someone logs off, or what happens when people die, because when you die in the game you obviously don't die in the the chibi world, so you come back and play as a new person.
You get rid of the
but
the
they're
overdrives.
big on like prohibiting people from doing that, and so we're about to go in this giant battle where like everyone that's sub A class is going to die. That doesn't mean that everyone that's playing this game is going to die. It means that, hey, there's going to be a new population of people wanting to come and play this game. And that's what they're like planning on it. They're planning on Decadence losing, so that they can have a reshuffle of like the power struggle that is and stuff like that. And you have to start over.
Yeah,
with a
it's
new
like a whole new server reboot and stuff like that for an MMO.
Right, exactly.
But the question, and that's like when they said that, I was just like, holy shit. Like this is like doubling down on the fact that this is a game to them. And that it's like
Yeah, it's
nothing.
just a raid.
But at the same point,
event.
it's like, and they call it an event too. Like they don't even sugarcoat it. They're just like it's the next event. It's gonna be awesome. But are the humans like are the shells real humans that just have a chip in them that overrides? Like we need to find more of this out. And that's probably
I think we'll
what's
figure
going
that
to
out with him when he removes the chips. Like, is he actually killing the person, or is he just like disabling them until a new chip can be put in? Type.
Yeah.
Thing? And she just never got a new chip because they assumed that her avatar completely was dead. Her body was gone. So they're just like, well, we're not going to give it a new chip because it's gone.
But that's also the weird thing, is that they're like, they didn't notice the record of she died and then came back or was revived.
Well, because
there was a video recording of it.
died. Yeah, but the chip is what died.
Yeah.
And then so the record of the chip is what all that they have. And the video recording is like, you're looking at like 80 billion petabytes of information and videos going on all the time. So someone's
It's a
supercomputer.
supercomputer. It can process
I'm just super saying. The MCP can only do so
Saiyan?
much when it's just trying to make the games work, you know.
Yeah, it's weird. There's some plot holes. Like, it's not gonna be perfect, but that's what we're here for. Poke all those little plot holes.
That's what we're here for.
Bigger.
Yep.
But okay.
Or be pleasantly surprised that they're explained. I mean, I'm not
like,
holding my breath.
I hope that
But I
hope
am-
that they are explained as to why it did. Like somebody knew, and then they scrubbed it. They like scrubbed that whole thing. Like they knew what happened, and they were like, no. Let's let this go. Let's see what happens now. This chick is not connected to anything, and she wants to become a fighter. Like I want to see that
Ooh,
portion.
you just got it. There's a group of freedom fighters on the
in the
side that
computer.
know. And they're the ones that are releasing the hacks. They're the ones that are releasing the bugs in the system, so to say. Yeah.
Yep.
There's an inside into the computer program side. In the chibi world, chibi hackers. So kawaii.
And the avatars, man,
cutest.
they're
It's got to be the cutest
Cutest
one
hackers.
too. It's just like I'm Hacker Man. It's got to be ridiculous.
those avatars are nuts.
Yeah.
Like they're all over the fucking place. It is bonkers looking at some of them.
Well, have you ever gone into like a VR chat? There's no rhyme or reason to a lot of that.
Every
bullshit.
time I've seen VR chat, it's always just a bunch of people that look like anime. Like that's like every time that I've seen any streams of VR chat, I'm just like, that person wants to be anime. That person wants to be anime. That person literally is anime. That's anime that wants to be a person.
Right. Yep.
Why is that one tiny?
And they're all horribly racist. This is absolutely
some of the worst people possible.
Some of the worst people.
Yes.
Or they just act really weird. Like, if you sat in like a real chat setting, would you just sit there and just poke people? Because I've seen that happen. They just sit there and go like this, and they're just like poking each other in the face.
Why not? I know one of our friends, Booze, his wife, is a kindergarten teacher. And she would jump into VR chat, and he sent snaps of this, where as a kindergarten teacher would go in there and be like, "Excuse me, young man, how dare you talk like that?" And would like start like lecturing everybody in VR chat like a teacher.
Beef lectured people?
It's fantastic.
Shit.
It's fantastic. Like putting on full teacher voice and everything like that. I mean, kindergarten.
Oh,
but
God.
It's just like, excuse me. Like, it's fantastic. Like, she's just having fun with it, but it's a blast.
I need to see one of these recordings of Beef doing that, because that's just fucking great.
Oh, it's so fun.
That's a whole TikTok right there.
Oh my God, it is. It's just a straight up TikTok account. Kindergarten teacher logs into VR chat.
Schools them on etiquette.
It is both horribly not safe for work and extremely wholesome all at the same time. Because you have to have side by side what she sees and the video of them, and you just hear the most horribly toxic bullshit, and then wholesome teacher going, "Excuse me, young man, you need to watch your language. That is not appropriate."
Excuse me, that's not how we talk here. Very fun. Very.
That is not how we talk.
Inside voice.
That is not how we talk to our friends.
Sorry.
I don't know how many times like we had to say that to the toddler, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's not how you talk to your friends. You talk way fucking worse than that."
You're being way too nice.
It's so nice, buddy. If you want to talk to your friends, you got to drop a couple of F-bombs. You got to tell them how shitty they are. You got to poke them in the face like 80 times. Be like, "Hi."
Friends are nice. Best friends are assholes.
Yes.
Yay, we're assholes.
Look a little fat there, buddy. Am I fat? Dude, I know like 5 fat people and you're 4 of them.
I always love that one. Okay, so quick rundowns of each episode. Episode 1's completely normal. Girl like at the very beginning loses her fucking arm, dies, gets brought back to life, and then is on like tries to grow up and go into the army. Loses her dad in the same process. Tries to grow up and join the army. The army won't take her, and she's like, "Well, what do I do now?" And they're like, "Here you go, sanitation duty."
Yep, scrub this shit.
Yep, and she ends up scraping, I guess it's bloody barnacles off.
It looks like viscera. I mean, the way that battle went, where they punched that thing to shit, like the amount of goop going everywhere, it's just like, yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing, is scraping that off. Then a giant one appears, and dude man that you can see in Chris's background like flies off to go help, and then she's off to help, and everything ends up hunky-dory. The ship, like the giant battleship or whatever the fuck you want to call it, docks with a hand. And then like I remember I was watching it, I'm like, okay, it docked with a thing. It's a cannon. All right, that's fine. And then it punches. It fucking punches. I'm like, oh my God, they literally just made a battering ram. Because that's all that it did. Is it like it powered up in the back and then just And you're like, oh, cool.
Wait for get nice and close.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like, it's fine. It's
Falcon.
standard anime. Yeah, it's like we're gonna go full on Attack on Titan, like I said earlier. It's like I was very much like feeling Attack on Titan stuff. I'm like, cool, that's fine. They're not as creepy looking as Attack on Titan, so
Yeah.
No.
there's that.
Yeah.
Because Attack on Titan makes me feel very uncomfortable, and that's why I stopped reading the manga like forever ago. I was just like,
You're supposed to feel uncomfortable. That's the whole point.
too uncomfortable. And this coming from a guy that has read Berserk. Like all of it, and Attack on Titan makes me uncomfortable. With the way that they draw
here's
the people.
here's Eric's list: rape and demons, no big deal. Big tall scary boy with too many teeth, no.
And you know what?
Where's
From
his
everything
penis?
that I've seen after the fact, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm glad I stopped. Like, I think it stopped somewhere around the point where they were like, yeah, no, like, these are people that actually, like, turned into these, and, like, they're genetically altered. And that's why there's giant flaming no-skin muscle and bone guy. But then I saw Sasquatch dude, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad I stopped reading that. And then the fact that they're riding their their meat exosuits inside in a meat cockpit, I'm just like, this is fucking stupid.
Part of them, just like Gleipnir, except way less creepy in my opinion.
You're not wrong.
I don't know about
No, way less
lewd.
pedo. Yeah, way less lewd and pedo. Because of the fact that she is very much underage.
Well, that was mostly part of the creepy part, but I
don't look at that as
more
creepy.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't look at that so much as creepy as in cringe.
Different category of creepy.
Yes, but I digress. As I mount up reasons for hate mail by talking shit about AOT. But yes, so everything's hunky-dory. Then we see the amusement park thing, and even that, like the amusement park thing at the beginning of episode 2, like that was just kind of like a because you watch that ending part and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then it starts off and it's just this amusement park commercial for Deca-Dence, and I'm like, oh, so this used to be an amusement park that they repurposed into a fighting machine. That kind of makes sense. I'm like, I can get behind that. And then it's 20 minutes of chibi avatars in the past explaining how this one chibi avatar is now not a warrior and is
so good
in cleaning duty.
Got his squad killed in game and had to pay for it by being a bug.
No, he didn't get his squad killed in game. They all survived. No, they all survived.
I mean, like in Chibi World. Like,
oh yeah. But he didn't even get them killed. Like, it was just the fact that they knew about the hack and they weren't going to give up their sources. I mean, technically, they're the best teammates ever. That's like SEAL
no one knew
Team
that
6
it was
level
him
stuff.
that gave it to him, but yeah. I mean, they're all doing it basically. Is what was happening.
Yeah, and the only reason that the computer program knew that it was him is that it didn't even know that he was the one that gave the full thing, but he was the one that planted the seed about it. Like they had that video recording of him talking about it with the rest of the crew. So yeah, it's like that part. It's just like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. What are we watching? What is happening here? Why is the art style vastly different? Why are they talking about this as if they're like playing a game? Which I guess is very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, with the whole thing of like where the people that just like hop into the drone cockpits and they're just playing a game and they're literally going for high score and stuff like that, and then the drone blows up. But I don't think that there were actually people in those. I think it was literally just like remote controlled spaceships.
I mean,
The
there's been
people-
plenty, like, you can get into Ender's Game if you really want to get into it, where it's, you know, hey, we're controlling squadrons of real live people, and I'm thinking it's just a simulation in a game, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Or like God, what was that? What was that? Gamer, right? Was that the movie?
Yes.
Oh,
For
the most recent
2009?
one with
Gerald Butler?
oh,
Yeah, Gerard Butler, yeah. Yeah, each week, Cable, a death row inmate, battles his fellow prisoners in a violent online game called Slayers. But it's really people. And there's just somebody controlling them.
that premise was going to be so amazing, and then they just went off the rails of just being like, I'm escaping, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And I got really upset by it.
No,
It's
he
like, this
needed
is
to
nothing
get
with
like
gaming.
5 good battles in. And
Right.
like do
They
this
needed to
whole
really
thing.
drive the fact, yeah.
Yeah, do this whole thing where the person that is controlling him is gaining notoriety because of how well he's doing, but it's really just this cold-blooded killer like Rambo out there just murking everybody possible, and like he's not actually taking control or anything like that. He's just killing everyone. Like they could have done that.
Yeah.
But again, we digress.
That'd have been True Gamer then. That'd have been a True Gamer moment right there. It's just like, what is this bot? Auto aim? I'm winning.
Hacksaws.
Leet hacksaw.
I am the lead gamer.
That's right.
So then we find out that she actually died and her chip died. See, and that's the thing that's dumb, is that the chip just, like, it's a chip. How does it die when she dies?
I mean, it's liquid, it looks like. And so, whatever. Because when the guy takes the chip from the people who's pickpocketing them, you know, it just looks like a little reverse, like, injection.
Yeah, it's just sucking it out. But so the chip dies. She never gets a new one. And that was then the other question of, like, are they all being controlled by the programs? Like, even little kids? What stick do you have to
when
draw?
you're sleeping? Like when do you
Well, when you're sleeping, that's when the programs are like, they're like done. Like, cool, we're done. Also, yeah. So if he's off doing these conversations and shit like that during the day, what is his body doing?
Right. And who's playing the game if you're just cleaning shit up the side of a ship? Yay.
Well, that's his
His
penance.
vacation. And what? There's other people. There's like whole.
But
other people.
that's true.
There's people that are.
That's the question:
butchers
is
that
are those people being
Part of
controlled
the
or
game.
not?
Right.
Yeah,
Because
like,
the
are they
advertisement
controlled?
was the game is you go fight monsters through friends.
Yeah,
Right.
and
I
that
think
one
everybody
guy
can
had to
be,
get like
but not
demoted.
everybody is controlled. Because I mean, obviously, they're still humans. So I mean, because she is.
Are
So obviously,
but that's the question though: is are they?
well, that's what I'm saying. I think that like they're still humans, and only certain ones get chosen to be the bow people, and that's why like they can change their skin and all that jazz like that. And probably why there's like they don't really go into like there being population issues or anything like that, because I think that they just keep showing up like, oh, why couldn't I have been born in the warrior class? It's just like, oh, because probably the warrior classes are being born like every 5 minutes, and that's why it's not a big deal for them to die off all the time. And they kind of keep that hidden. That's why
But then
she'd never been to that warrior zone. That's why she'd never been to that warrior zone, because they have no idea.
But then
So-
why have all the other people be controllable if you're never using them? And or are
think
they
that-
being used? Like, are they being?
I think they're
controlled?
being used as in like, hey, you're still alive, but we need to know where you're at. Nobody's taking control of you and doing that like as part of the game, but you're still part of the program
Okay.
of maintaining and butchering and whatever.
So what happened to that guy, or was that his body before that he used to fight with?
That's his body that you
Yeah,
used
yeah.
before. They used to fight with.
Because
Yeah.
that lady recognized him when he was in the tunnel.
Which makes sense. But man, that's just so weird. But what would happen if randomly they're like, "Oh crap, we need to take this body." So then does they just like lose consciousness? They take over,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what we
they're
don't know-
really
that's what
good
we
at
don't know
shit.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the questions though that I'm wondering. I'm like, is that what happens? Like, it's all strange. You know,
It's different.
it's very different. It's very weird. The fact that he has one of the monsters as a pet is also weird. It's very much like I have a feeling that we're gonna get a full on Fully Cooley moment with this.
Where
With
they just get, like,
well, the puppy in Fully Cooley, where it's like it's all cute and adorable, and then it starts eating everything. And then it just magically turns into this big fucking bad guy that they're gonna have to fight again. And I have a feeling like that something like that is gonna happen.
if it turns into a hand and it does like a rock paper scissors with the Deca-Dence
Oh
hand,
my god,
that'd be amazing.
that would be
Yes.
amazing. That's the only thing that can be as good as it turning into a hand and grasping the iron that is the Medical Mechanica plant.
I think it wants to grasp it. Iron out the wrinkles.
It's just, God, that fucking anime. At least that anime, you start watching it and immediately you're like, what the fuck is going on? And the entire time you're just trying to grasp it. And then they hit the episode where half of it's done in South Park animation, and you're just like, okay,
I'm done.
Dude, Fooly Cooley, the first season of Fooly Cooley, or the only season that really matters in my opinion, every single scene is art. Like, there's
Yep.
just not a single time you can't hit pause and be like, yeah, that looks dope, and like have fun with it. The's so many
even the
great
manga
things out of that
scenes
anime.
that they use because
even
they
the manga,
cut
dude.
because
Yep.
they cut costs are great.
Yeah,
I love
it's all
it.
really good.
It's all awesome. Yeah, that man, that's such a great anime. I really wish that we never watched 2 and 3.
Yeah.
2 and 3 are garbage.
2, they're hot garbage,
Hot
and
garbage.
like if they just never existed, if like someone could wipe my memory that those existed, and all I have to remember is the fondness of Fooly Cooley episodes 1 through 6, I'd be down. Okay. Anyways, the big problem is that we have an audio recording for posterity on the internet that we watched those seasons.
Did we, or was it our avatars that watched them?
Oh.
I wish it was our avatars.
Oh my.
Wait, it could have been the avatars that watched it, but then he left the fucking memories in my head because he was like,
There you go. Avatar-
he's like,
Avatar
I don't
was-
want to watch this. I don't want to remember that I watched it. Here, you take it. It just dropped
Was
into my
that
head. I'm like,
Simpsons?
no.
You can deal with this. I'm out of here.
Yep. So yeah, so they have a pet, which is a big plot point for the 4th episode, third and 4th episode, because they're out in their Jeep like doing more training, and she got really good real quick.
Well, I mean, they had the typical montage.
There's a montage,
We have no idea
yeah.
how long that was. Yeah.
Gonna need a montage.
But they even people even commented about how fast she was like picking it up and how good she got. So
yeah.
I was just making a statement of like she picked it up really quick, got really good. And then they were out for more training, and
That reminds me. It's just like, man, you got really good at doing the thing that we're all doing. She's like, yeah, I know. I wonder if it has anything to do with my gun arm. You got really good at shooting stuff. I know this Gatling gun on my arm just makes it really easy. It's just like,
I don't know.
all right.
If I learned anything from Final Fantasy VII, having a Gatling gun on your arm does not make you a better shot. Because
Yeah,
Barrett sucked, and so did the other guy. The other guy with the gun arm on his right hand, right? Because Barrett had it on his left. The other guy with his arm
No,
with
other
the
way.
gun arm
Barrett
on his
was
right hand. Barrett had it on his right hand.
Leroy.
Well, then the other one.
Leroy?
Either way, his
Lenny?
friend, Marlene's dad.
Yeah.
That's the part that I do
Marlene's
remember. Is
dad,
it was Marlene's biological father, who was a dick. Imagine explaining that to your son when he plays that. Like why Marlene's dad is such an asshole. Because that was fun. But yeah, like they suck at shooting. This is the first time I think I've ever seen somebody who gets a gun arm and they're like awesome at it. Because even Vash the Stampede, still, he was okay
He
with that gun
didn't
arm.
want to shoot anybody with it, and when
Yeah.
he did want to, i.e., when he saved Wolfwood in the plant that one time, he was dead eye with it. So Vash never wanted to kill anybody. So don't
Mhm.
that's
True.
That's different there.
That's true.
Mhm.
Because Vash
He's
is
missing on
a
purpose.
kind-hearted soul. Even though he is the humanoid typhoon, destruction incarnate, he literally never killed anybody. But there were all these stories about all the people that he massacred. But there was never actually a body count. Even the bad guys were just hurt. And even that, he hated shooting them. Like, even just, like, in the arm. He didn't like the sight of blood.
Nope.
God,
Or
we are...
crying. He didn't like any of that.
No, we're just on tangent after tangent after tangent
Yep.
with this
yeah.
anime.
Oh, yeah. Well, this anime is just like so full of like random like things, just like so easy
Yeah.
to like draw in. It's just like because the door's open, we can do whatever we want with this anime right now after 4 episodes. Like it's just
Yeah.
like it could be whatever that they.
It came
decide.
full on
Like,
Gurren
the next-
Lagann.
It could.
They
it could.
next they
4
pilot
episodes could-
Earth into the center of the galaxy and destroy
I would
God.
love that. I would love that more than you can imagine.
Like,
it's just like
Deca-Dence-
The fist is only the hand of the planet, and the
Yeah,
rest has to.
that's
come
what I was
out
gonna say.
somehow, yeah.
Deca-Dence is just one of the plants, and then the rest of them are like hands and feet, and then there's head one too. Like, and
Dude,
that
they
one's
got
going.
Voltron the Earth.
Yeah, that one's going around, and like instead of punching the giant monsters, it's like a head comes up and it just goes down and chomps them.
Just noms.
Yeah, just straight up nom. And that's what's going on. And then yeah, they just like they all go to their different points of where they need to be on the Earth. And like the hand has to be on Mount Everest because that's its docking position, and that's the ultimate reason why they're going there, so that then they can turn into a giant robot, fly to the center of the galaxy, and punch someone in their stupid nose.
That
That's it.
sold.
I have solved
Make
this anime, everybody.
Make the anime. Make it happen.
It's weird.
Here's $5,000. Make a chibi version.
Okay, so it's so weird. I think we've explained everything that's like worth explaining, because even watching the chibi scenes, I'm still just like watching. I'm like, what the fuck is like? I might have to watch it like 2 or 3 more times to realize exactly what is going on within it.
Like the goo and like eating the goo.
Yeah,
And the why his friend was such a mooch about it is just like, and then they go into the chamber and just like get high as fuck, getting electrocuted or something like that. Like all kinds of stuff is just like, what the fuck is going on with this?
but the goo is supposed to be the goo
Weird-ass-
that's in their backpacks that they use for
That's what I
fuel.
thought.
Yeah.
Like when they get into the human world, that's what it is. And then they're trading goo back and forth in the chibi form.
Well, they're not trading goo anywhere. It's just like
No, because like he
they
asked him, "Is like,
use-
hey, can you have any goo that I can use?"
Well, yeah, because they use the goo to make the monsters on Earth or whatever and stuff like that, and then they also use the goo as like currency for killing the monsters on Earth to perpetuate the movement of the.
But then they
they're
also
not
use it as
sending
the
anything
fuel.
from Earth up to. They're not. Yeah, but they're not sending.
No,
anything
yeah,
from Earth
yeah.
Up to. They're just it's sending it down.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, it's like they trade it, they use it for fuel, they apparently use it to get high. The monsters are made out of it. When you get close, you can see the arteries. And then I think that was the first thing is
Well,
I
that's
watched
with
it
their
and I'm like,
goggles, I think. That's
I'm
the
like-
goggles that they're wearing.
yeah. But the first thing that I noticed in the very first episode when they did it, I'm like, did they really just send out hollowed out syringe needles? And they're just bleeding them out?
Yep.
And they need to see it like globule out because they have that anti-gravity zone.
Yep.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's creative. It's creative in anything. There's so much like what the fuck. Like you said, they were high as shit. But as long as they get a storyline out of it, I'm enjoying it so far.
They
It's
had
different.
a slightly over par dart throwing session. Like just good enough that you're not looking at it and being like shit.
Oh,
They're
I know what
like
you're talking about.
mediocre. And then, like one of them literally is computer avatars, giant alien monsters, blood for fuel, and then the next one
Chibi. Gotta have the chibi.
is chipped humans, and they're like, oh shit, those two go together. Fuck yes. And then one of them is literally just Avatar the movie.
Which Star Ocean was it that they it was this?
Oh, it's Star Ocean till the end of time.
Yeah, that one was easily one of my favorites for a long time.
Yeah, and I even said that. I said that yesterday we were doing. I'm like, holy shit, this is like full on Star Ocean. Because yeah, you find out in Star Ocean, like at first you're just going through the entire thing until the end of time. You're going through the entire thing, and you think that you're space, and they do the whole thing of like advanced technology is really just magic to people that don't understand advanced technology, and that's the thing that they're doing. It's like, oh yeah, that's magic, or that's magic over there, and they're like, no, that's literally just a fusion reactor that fell down to this planet and is sitting here. We'll go get it for you. Right. But then you find out, like the main characters and all that, they all find out that they're just in a computer simulation.
Literally a game.
Which that one, I swear, when they wrote that one, they had a wheel of conspiracy theories and they just kept spinning it. We're all in a simulation. Technology or magic is just technology. Aliens visited our underdeveloped societies, and that's like all. And
that you have to cook 1,000 different things. Enjoy that.
Everybody should be a chef.
Yep.
It's fucking
Makes
great.
Sense.
Makes sense. I mean, it 100% makes sense to me. Doesn't it make sense to you? Okay, so. So that is episodes 1 through 4, as well as random bullshit, which is what episodes 1 through 4 was. It's just random craziness that none of us knew what was going on. Bulldog popped into VC and was like, what the fuck is going on? I tried explaining this to Gunner while we were playing. He's like, what?
Anyways, let's go kill this boss.
Yeah. Like,
Good one.
I'm like, we're coming up on a boss. I'm just going to pause this right now because I don't understand what's going on. And I'm pretty certain that focusing on this boss is not going to help that.
No, not at all.
Not at all. But yeah, so next week will be episodes 5 through 8. Jason.
2 weeks.
Or, next episode will be
next episode. Yeah, whenever that is. It'll be
2
forever.
Weeks-ish. We'll see. We've got trips, and it's summer, so like things are fluid. Unfortunately, cutscene's usually the one that takes a backseat to a lot of things. But we do have E3 stuff coming up, so we may end up doing like extra podcasts and whatnot where we talk about E3 stuff. We don't know. But Jason, give us a blog roll.
Hey, you. Yes, you. If you're watching this or listening to us, guess what? We love you. Honestly. Seriously. Like, it's crazy on how anyone would be here spending your time with us, and we greatly appreciate it so much. And we'd love for you to interact with us as much as possible, and we'd love to talk to you, too. And you can do that by emailing us anything you want at ibeatitfirst.com. It could be cutscene at ibeatitfirst.com, Chris, Jason, Eric at ibeatitfirst.com. Doesn't matter. Email us. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you hate, what you love. If you love this anime so far, if you think it's super weird. If you hate this anime so far because you think it's super weird. It doesn't matter. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you about it and figure out what we can do. What animes could we watch next? What animes have we watched in the past? And whatever else we can do to make this crazy-ass podcast of tangents and sometimes anime more fun. And that's what we're all about. While you're emailing us, be sure to check out our website, ibeatitfirst.com. It's where you can see all of our other podcasts, or you can just go to ibif.co. That's ibif.co, and it has a whole plethora of all of our different podcasts, a myriad of podcasts that we do available for you. A menagerie of podcasts. Podcast menagerie. Normally you have to pay trouble for that kind of action. It's easily something that you would definitely want to make sure that you're viewing and taking all in, because we have not only our fantastic anime podcast of Cutscene that you're listening to and enjoying right now, but we also have our other podcast on there, which is our I Beat It First podcast, which is our original podcast, which is where we talk about video games and nerd shit in general, predominantly nerd stuff, pretty much anything but anime. And then we also have Patch Notes, which is where we actually pull in indie developers and talk to them about anything but their game, and then a little bit about their game as well. So, I mean, it's been super fun to be able to talk to these devs and find out what kind of makes them tick and kind of what makes them want to make these games and make our lives more enjoyable. Because as this new anime that we're watching right now, games make life enjoyable. If you can't be murdering things with no consequences, then what's the point of living? Honestly, there's just no point anymore. So
That's true.
please do. It is true. So please check us out on those locations. You can find us on all your socials, typically at I Beat It First. Facebook is I Beat It First com for some reason, I don't remember. And
Because you
Instagram.
made I Beat It First as a page, but then didn't
Oh yeah,
do
that's
anything
right.
for transferring it
We made
over.
it as a page, then we made it as like a business, and then we didn't merge them together. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook's dead. Get off of Facebook. And then check out Instagram, which is also Facebook. Hilarious. And then also check out us on Snapchat. I think where I'm there, maybe on like Mob Psycho. I don't know. We're everywhere. I Bid First. You can find it. We'll respond in some way, shape, or form. Most likely with probably just a finger avatar or a finger asking like thing. It'll be great. It'll be super fun. It'll be an inside joke just for us. Where you can be like, "Hey guys," and just like, "Hey friend, fingers." That's all we're gonna do, and it'll be fun. We'll be
And
our
now
own
it's
thing.
actually just going to be the word fingers.
Just gonna be finger. Like I beat it first. Fingering.com. It's great. It's great.
Oh,
I got
God.
fingered and I beat it first.
Oh,
Freaking love it. It writes itself.
Jason
It's like-
got fingers.
T-shirts?
Wait, that's a movie. We'll get sued for that.
Yeah. Only if your name's Freddy though.
Yeah, only if your name's Freddy. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us. If you are watching on Twitch, which you can find at twitch.tv/ibeatitfirst and watches everything. You can also join our Discord, discord.ibeatitfirst.com or ibeatitfirst.com/discord. You can join in and play games, talk amongst yourselves, have fun, maybe. I don't know. Do people actually have fun on Discord? I don't even know.
I keep forgetting to talk about Discord for sure. Who does that?
I don't
Who
know.
uses Discord? Ridiculous.
And yeah. Anyways, we are gonna go ahead and raid out before we end, but we can't end any podcast without.
Bye-bye.
Recording stopped.
Very nice, Chris.
Well done.
Oh, Jason, you have
Dreams,
sit-ups.
shut up. You love this anime. You're gonna be at the end of this anime. You're gonna be like, "Dang, Jason picked a good one," and I don't want to admit it anymore because I'm so Sunday. It's ridiculous. Sure, I'll do your sit-ups. I will do your sit-ups.
I will say this. If I end up liking it, I will fight for you. But man, and the avatars are creepy. Dreams is right. The avatars are creepy. Do your sit-ups before we raid out.
Yeah, okay.
But we are going to raid
Oh,
out
God.
into Blue Yes because she is streaming. She very rarely streams, which is awesome. It's in the title. It's Deca-Dence. It's on it. The sub is on Funimation. The sub and dub are on Crunchyroll. Thank you, Chris. But yeah, we're gonna raid out into Blue Yes. She was playing V Rising, just like a lot of people are. So get ready for that. Go ahead and type the raid command.
Not me. I never play
in.
that game.
What's
It's not a bad one. It's weird.
what's V Rising? I don't know. We have to figure out what this game is. I don't know what V Rising is. God damn it, Dreams. Dreams is hiding all of our resources. All right. The raid has been initiated. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow for. Yeah, we're gonna play V Rising tomorrow. So bye-bye.
Bye.